Welcome to artifactsrob.live.
Yeah, I know. I got a new soundboard finally. One that does not screw things up so much. Although I tell you what, it did recently. Is it like it? I don't know why, but because it has all these filters on it, sometimes if you have to reset the board, you have to turn the power off or like keep me in monster mode a little bit. So if I happen to sound really weird, um, it's crazy too because I can't hear it. I think it's actually on the computer side of things because I can the board I trust the board being able to tell me what I sound like, but when I yeah, how's it going, Pain? But when I when I like was doing it, I was like playing back my recording and it was like this is not who I am. It had a little bit of a, I mean it's one thing to make you sound like a radio announcer. It's another thing. It's another thing to make you completely alter your voice altogether. And it was not like, some predicted thing. In fact, here's another fun one I should play around with. Where is it? Where is it? 20? Is it 24? I think it is. Yeah, this is a fun one.
When I make a mistake.
That's a fun one, isn't it? Oh, yeah, way too much fun. This is like way too much fun. This streaming stuff. It just makes my day. So hopefully more people than Peter Payne artists are here. Did I say Peter? Oh, I'm sorry. There's glare on my screen. I couldn't read your name. I thought you were Peter. Hi, how's it going, Quint? We're gonna be spending most of the day today. I don't know, whatever you call this moment of time. For me, it's 3 a.m. And I am gonna actually go start some copying in a bit, but we're gonna be spending most of the time in Inkscape designing the chat UI and using CView. I've been debating about what to do here because I've got some trusty paper here, and I have some ideas about that. I love designing these kind of things, but at first I was like, we could just do it, just parse the JSON and just write it out to the terminal. We don't have to. We could do ANSI escape sequences to mess with how we update the terminal without using a full chat terminal UI. And the one we're going to use is CView. We've talked about that before. But then I got thinking, somebody else might want to theme it differently than me. They might want to put some stuff on it. So we might as well have it be an app of some kind. Not to mention the fact that this actually has support for code. So if you were to paste in code, so that's one of the things that I can show right here for a second. Let's see if I can fire up a new. Can I get a new window here? Give me a new window. Open a new window. All right. So is that a new window? Yeah, there we go. Ouch. It's not too dark. Anyway. So I want to put this one in a way that I can still see what you guys are saying to me. So let me just do some repositioning here for a second. I'm going to be working from this window for the web. And so yeah. I don't know how many people we're going to get today. But let me just show you CView again. So T Skulkum. I know it's in my history somewhere. T, what's it? T. Forget the guy's name. I want to. Is it in here? There we go. CView examiner. Here it is. Okay. So just so everybody knows, this is the terminal UI framework we'll be using, and it has some pretty cool stuff. There's no video on it though. You have to go to the where's the website? The website has some stuff on it. Where is it? Introductory tutorial. Is this it? I think this is new. I don't remember this. This is new. I don't remember this. Who made this? It's getting really popular. So it's just so stinking cool. It does like Flexbox and grid. But here you see you have like actual color syntax highlighting already built into it. So one of the reasons I like that is that in the event that at some point we support Discord cutting and pasting of code, like code segments, people could do that. I think we should probably still use eeks for that. It's just better to go view code. I don't really want to put a lot of code in the chat. I just think that's a bad idea. We should keep it more IRC-like. But knowing you have the option is kind of good. It also has built-in colors already. I don't particularly like the way they do colors. They do colors with function calls as opposed to sending ANSI terminal sequences, which is a mistake if you ask me. In fact, I don't think I have to use their colors. I think I can use my own colors library and combine it with that. And so yeah, it just reminds me I need to start adding sponsorship to some of my projects. They're not that big, but if I had some sponsorship behind, for example, Quint will laugh at this one, but if I had a little bit of sponsorship behind Pagan, I'd be a lot more motivated to do it. I know I need to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to let it die. But given the amount of coding that I do, if I had some money, it would definitely help me. Right now, by the way, the reason that that's on hold is because I have to really nail things like context and OAuth and all this stuff. Did you happen to see the video I did earlier today about contexts? If you don't know, if you haven't used a lot of context, I think you probably have. It's because it sounds like you're in the industry. I have a feeling people that are coding like day to day and they're doing back-end stuff are getting more exposure to context than I've ever had. So today I went through and cracked the code for context, figured them out why that would be practical and stuff. And I did a exploring context video. And yeah, I was making all kinds of silly mistakes, but you know, you're going to learn through that and go through it. But that's like one of the things. So the reason I'm not doing Pagan is because it's not the kind of thing that I've talked about this before, but it's not the kind of thing that you can be employed to do unless you're working for a particular group that's really into languages, which I think is going to be a thing. In fact, somebody was in the chat. I'm kind of off topic here, but somebody in the chat the other day mentioned how important code generation is becoming everywhere. Apparently there's a tool for gRPC code generation that's a really important piece of this whole puzzle. And I haven't read about that yet, but I do intend to as we go forward with our, you know, gRPC mastery and learning all the things that that relate to primary demand for coding in Go. Those are the things that people are doing. And but that just reminded me that code generators like the stuff we're doing with Pagan and the template library for Go in general is going to go like right dead smack in the center of you know what is wanted in the enterprise is more and more people are generating large amounts of code from you know, meta languages and YAML and stuff like that. So yeah, interesting stuff. So back to this, we have a number of things we can put here. I don't particularly like all of these interfaces, but I mean, and you know, I'm not the kind of guy to put arrow keys or something like that, but we can do Vim bindings and that kind of thing. So I thought maybe at least, you know, like, how am I going to lay out? And people were asking me, well, why don't you put the whole thing into one UI? I was like, no, I'll make it so you can have it all and be in different panes. You can organize where your panes appear. And I think all of that stuff is doable if we have a theme. I don't want to get too crazy. So the first thing I'm going to support is what I need so I can get on to other coding projects. But this is a really good CView project for, you know, adding all this stuff. And it does use the TV prefix because CView is the project that was picked up from TView that got left abandoned, sort of thing. All right. And yeah, so that's where we're at. So yeah, I'm going to pull up Netscape here. And Netscape, no, not Netscape, Inkscape. Netscape. Yeah, why would I pull that up? And this is a nice, fun program. This is a happy, fun program. If you haven't used this before, I really love it. I made an entire card game using this. I had over like 500-600 cards, and I designed them all, and did the graphics for them. I really like graphic art. I don't like. I mean, I like it all, but I'm prone to drafting and graphics art and stuff like that. So the only reason I have this open is because I don't want to use Draw.io or something. I know this a little bit better. It's been a while though since I've done it, so I'm going to implement it, and we can just go ahead and go here and draw a box. So the first thing is, so this is my terminal. I want to have something at the bottom, and this is going to deliberately have different colors in it and stuff, just to kind of get the layout. It's kind of wireframing. There are wireframing tools out there that are better than this, I know. If you guys know of a really good one, a recent one, I wouldn't mind playing around with that. But yeah, so Draw.io is primarily for like laying things out for flow and stuff like that. Not necessarily, but this is just easier to draw. All right, so the way I figure we're going to have margins here, this is where my drafter comes in. I'm going to make the screen a little bit bigger so I can put more workspace here. I don't need a lot more than that, I guess. Here, how about that? Oh, did I rotate it already on accident? Whoopsie. How did I do that? I didn't know you could rotate the back. That is the first time I've ever learned that you can rotate. Holy cow. I had no idea you could do that. That's new. That was a complete accident. I just rotated the background on accident. What the heck, dude? There's been a lot of changes. That was not supported before. Oh, we're going to do a new one in case it's new. There we go. You can die because I got confused. I don't know what's going on. I wasn't saving. Yeah, we're going to, I don't need you right now. You can go away. And, so yeah, let's zoom in, which is control. I wonder how much of that stuff would show up on screen, on my screencast. Let me try that. I'll try the screencast stuff, so you guys can see if you want to learn how to use it. A screencast not found. Bull crap. Oh, it's key. Duh. Turn key. All right. All right. So, we're gonna be. I'm gonna be floundering for a while. I'm not gonna lie, because it's been a while. I used to have all my. I used to have all of my stuff really memorized, but I don't have it memorized as well right now. All right, so I do need to zoom in. My scroll wheel has been finicky lately too. So that's weird that it wouldn't even show scroll wheel stuff. I guess it probably doesn't count, right? I guess you're not going to get any squeaky on that. Oh well. I mean, maybe. Let's try it. I'll put it up here. I don't need the whole thing. I just need enough to do that. Okay. So what? So, first of all, we got this thing's going to be across the entire bottom. So the entire thing is going to be there. And oh my God, that's really bright. Okay, so we could make it. That's just the general thing. And then I thought about putting the total number of viewers as over here. So we'll do this like this. I'll put you right here. And so I don't know, 20, 26. It's the total combined number of viewers. So, and I thought we could do this with a Figlet font. And it doesn't have to be that big, I suppose. I mean, I don't. This is why I'm doing this, right? Because if we're going to resize this box, is this number going to get bigger, right? I think so. I think we want to keep this number down in the bottom. I want to keep it kind of, I don't know, not overwhelming, I guess, but enough so people can see how many people are logged in at any given time. And that's fine. I mean, it's generally going to be conflicting with whatever's here too. So, but that's fine. And then I thought maybe we could. I mean, there's the other stuff. We have the actual chat window. So there's kind of a margin too. So this is I'm going to change the thing here. So this guy is got to be. So this is kind of one of the this is the reason I'm doing this, because I want to be able to put to call out margins and stuff, so that we can set different margins here. I don't want to waste any screen real estate here, so we have this thing over here. So I'm going to go ahead and put this here so that it matches up completely with but this is just chat area. So the other thing too is at the very bottom, I'm going to leave that open for notifications and for chat, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. So so right here we're going to do you know, again, this is considering this is all background, it's all transparent, by the way. So that's another thing with theming that I wanted to get into, is like, if we are going to allow people to theme this stuff, I think by default the colors should be transparent, because I just don't want to get in the way of whatever's behind there for my stuff. But somebody else might want to theme their little app so that, you know, the colors match or whatever the rest of their Tmux panes are themed to look like. So in that case, we would want this little number here to not necessarily be, you know, I don't know. I think maybe we should probably center it. Let's say that. Okay, let's say we center that number no matter what. It means if you have, you know, a full thing there, it's like it's centered like that. And I mean, that space is already kind of lost anyway, and a lot of people write that off to put their head there or their face or whatever. I mean, I don't know. I'm just playing out loud. So some other information we need on here. We need of course the chat box that's down here. So let me get another box down here. So the chat box is here. I thought about making this chat box go all the way across and then have the number center, but I don't know if I want to do that. I don't think I want to do that. So do it like that. Yeah, I mean, this number thing is kind of plaguing me because I don't know how important it is. I don't want to give up screen space because of it, but I'm already giving up. So if you look at my Tmux pane, it goes all the way across over here. So this is stuff I'm never going to be able to use over here. So, and that's fine when somebody has a really long message, right? But what I'd rather do is chop this section out of the, you know, at least some of this section over here and reuse it. I've thought about letting this stream chat, I've thought about, you know, let me go do that. I thought about doing this instead, actually. I thought about doing a thing where we just have the chat log and the input is kind of a part of this. So I put this down here, and then I would just put the input box right here. And, you know, because nobody cares about what I'm typing in, you know, they don't care about that. They more care about what's going to appear over here, right? So this is an option, is that I could do something like this and put this, put the chat box here, because the fact of the matter is I just need a hotspot to be able to type on. So if I do that, that might be better. That would keep that down. I only need to see the word that I'm currently on. There's no going back, right? It's not like I can use my mouse on it. So. But the other thing too with this is I could, I just need to have that pane be visible. And the other thing too is that actually I figured out, somebody might actually like this. I figured out a way. So here is something, see that right there? But if you do this, if you do X do tool key, and this is built in, control left, control right. This is built into the screen key. I can disable the screen key so it's not on, and I can do that through a script. So that's super cool, because that means that I can toggle, you know, I can toggle the this chat So like if I can code into CView so that when this takes focus, that it sends a command to the OS, the underlying OS. It says, shell or whatever, and it runs the screen key. Because when I click on that, that would it would toggle the screen key stuff. And I do kind of wish that I could build the screen key into the chat as well. I don't know that I'm going to be able to make that happen. What I could do, actually, you know what I'm thinking? If I, you know what I wonder if you can lay stuff on top of other stuff in CView. I wonder. Because, yeah. And because what I could do is if we did, gotta do it, whoopsie, let's do it like this one. So if I did, whoops, okay, you can die. If we had this thing pop up right here, then what? So anyway, so if we did this pop up here, and so one of the things we could, this is why I'm spitballing all this stuff. If I have my input here, then what I can do is when this is activated, I can change what this is. So I can turn this on. And yeah, well, actually, if I did that, I could just click on here and then this would come on. And then, so if CView gets highlighted, right? So when CView gets highlighted, I know you can, there's some way to do that. I don't know why. So if I start to type on here, the automatic input would be, it would say, okay, this, I'm going to pop this on, and then it's going to start typing across the bottom here, and it's going to turn screen key off. And then when I hit enter, screen key is going to go automatically back on. And it would go, well, yeah, screen key would go automatically back on, and this thing would go away. Because then the screen key would be filling in this place where I would be typing. So either I'm typing here or screen key's typing there. And then I can put screen key across the bottom right here, so that it's so people are used to watching what I'm typing right here. So if I'm actually typing in a chat, it turns screen key off, so it's not redundant and puts this stuff there. Anyway, so yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do. And then this is just some space we can consider. There are a number of, again, I don't want to, you know what, this could be the notification area, which is another thing we do need. So like when we get a new sub, or if we get a new follow or something like that, I want to be able to flash something in here that shows that happened. And I mean, that could be any number of things. Yeah. There's a part of me that actually is interested in, I know this is crazy, but I could do if I did a full screen transparent CView, I could have stuff like appear in the middle of the screen and stuff. So, you know, like when you have like fireworks and things like that, and that would be interesting, because then, you know, people have, this is good. This is the kind of thing, this is why I'm doing this, because just rubber ducking this stuff is giving me ideas. So, you know, you see on other people's, like when they stream and stuff, they have stuff going on all over the page, and they have overlays and stuff like that. And that's fine. That's cool. But what I could do is make, I could make one of the. I don't know if well, there's lots of ways to do this. So one of them would be an additional terminal that's full screened in transparency mode, which is super easy. And then you're just like dealing with layers at that point. The problem with that is that when I'm like switching between apps, I'm gonna have to keep going past that. And so yeah, that's kind of annoying. But the reason I'm bringing it up at all is so, let's say some event happens here. I thought about having like a little thing here that happens, right? And I don't want to do walking zombies and all that stuff. If whatever I do is going to be, you know what? I guess that's interesting. I could, yeah, I don't know. Well, it might not be worth the work. Just some fun things, right? I was thinking about, but what I was thinking of asking are only or death. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So, but if we make this CView app that I'm doing, not so that it just fits in the bottom pane, now it could take over the whole screen and it would be a transparency layer. So that means I could have fish on here. I could have random trains going across the screen. And they would still be visible even though I would be in a pane above it working on it. Does that make sense? So if it had two full screen terminals, but the problem is that when I do this, I'd have to go through them all. And that, you guys already know how annoying that is. I have to do that all the time. And one of the reasons I'm doing all of this is I'm trying to simplify, what we do. And I got this idea. So right now it's complicated enough because I have, and one of the reasons I'm creating this is because I want to help other terminal streamers if they want to do this, so they can do it. And one of the complexities that I have right now that I don't feel comfortable forcing someone else to do is having a TMUX session nested in another TMUX session. A lot of people don't know, but this right here. So there's actually, so here if I do Control B, I've saved that. So here you have two main windows, right? So give up my magical secrets here. So that's the parent TMUX session. And then within that session, this is Control A for the other stuff. I have another session inside of it. So if I split this one, you'll see them all. So inside of, and to do that, by the way, you have to unset the TMUX variable or it won't let you nest them. And you have to be sure to use a different configuration because the configuration on the top has Control A, so that way when I hit escape, they go there. But if I want to go to the chat, I have to go, Control B, and then I switch. Now I'm down in the chat window, Control B to go up. And in the past, I've been splitting it further. So I have to differentiate. Welcome to Rob's UX stream. Hey, Payne. Well, it's like, yeah, I feel a little self-conscious because you guys like watching other stuff, but it said it right there in the title, so you know what you're getting into. I disclaim myself from all responsibility. I'm just doing stuff I would have done anyway. And in the process, it's been really fun. I've been learning a lot about how to send keystrokes between TMUX panes and stuff like that. You really like it? Okay. So, I mean, I've been telling people a lot in the past about how this works. I've done videos on it, but by the way, it's worth, if you're a TMUX person, it's definitely worth understanding how these nested sessions work. Because why? Because when you remote into another system, too nervous, you're going to be more graphical. God, no. I'm not a graphics person. I've never been. I felt so dirty doing that Restream shit on the side. I hated it. I hated it. I just hate it. In fact, I'm one of the few holdouts that's creating terminal applications for stuff that people clearly think doesn't need to be terminal. I was just reading a blog the other day about some guy who was like living in the terminal for 10 days and all the stuff he had to give up, and it's just fun. Anyway, I think it's hilarious because mainstream people don't understand how efficient not using a graphic interface is. And they never will. In fact, one of the reasons I've stopped trying to convince people by talking to them about it and just letting them see me use it, is so they can figure it out on their own. But, or watch somebody like Parmigian who just destroys on the terminal. It's people will come around eventually, but they need to see people who are still using. Anyway, so this is what it goes. So I have a nested tmux session inside of a session. So we have these two, and so if I want to go up and down, that's what I'm doing. Why did I do that, right? Well, you guys know if you use tmux for any length of time, you know that in tmux you need to be able to open a new window. So I could have fish over here, and I could have, I don't know, what should we have over here? C matrix. Do I have T matrix around the house? T matrix over here. Let's see if I can kill my machine, right? So, and then of course, I have a terminal up here, LS. I can put a train in here. No train. Where did my SL go? Oh, that's right. I reinstalled. We must have SL. Uh-oh. Time for me to turn my terminal off. There we go. Just checking. 1, 2. I don't think my keys. You know what? I don't think it's not. God damn it. Oh well. So I have to activate my stream key. Give me 1 second. Let me just check this. All right. You know what? I really need to get a different USB key. I don't have to go kill myself to reach. Yeah. Okay, 1 more second. This happened because my yeah, okay. Oof. All right, 1 more try here. And I think we're good. Okay. So I have to get really good about that. I've gotten a lot better, by the way. I mean, people who know me before know I was constantly having to screw stuff up. Different username colors in the chat. Yeah. The different username colors. Well, there's definitely going to be emojis there. So just so you know, they're coming. And that's what I'm doing. I'm actually okay. So I'm going to show that in the outline here. What am I going to do? Okay, here we go. So back to where we were. Yeah, all of that just for SL. I needed to get going on. So there's my train. So, but here's the thing. So you got all this great stuff going on in the terminal, and each different tmux pane, right? But what we don't have is another window. And so the reason I had to embed these windows is because if I want a new, very, very common need, like I want to go do search for, CView. If I want to go do some documentation, I want to pop back and forth in the old school screen way, Control A twice there. You understand why I have nested the sessions. If I tried to do that, the chat at the bottom would be lost in the new window. And so I came up with this kind of on accident when I was reading about how to get around the problem of logging into a remote session that's also running tmux while you're running tmux on your local computer. It's not an uncommon scenario. And then I learned about there's an escape. I can't remember it now, but for sending commands through tmux to the thing. So if you want to escape your keystrokes that would normally be intercepted by tmux, you can type this thing or whatever, and it'll make sure that the underlying tmux session gets it. So let's say you've SSH'd into a remote system and you type that thing and it sends those keystrokes to it. And that's really important because sometimes you're logged into a remote system and you're using tmux for the other reason, not screen management, right? You're using it for the purpose of like keeping a process running. Maybe in particular Minecraft comes to mind. If you're running a Minecraft server, there's not a real good way to keep that session running and have the terminal open remotely. So you have to run it in a screen session is what we used to do. using the screen command. And sometimes I'll still use screen uh, because it has different bindings and what the defaults for tmux are or something. I don't always do that though, because why? Because I've actually made my tmux match my muscle memory for screen, and Mac loves to yell at me for that because it's not the standard. So I don't use Control B for tmux. I use Control A, and there's a bunch of people who were raised on screen who are used to doing Control A to go back and forth. So why is all of that relevant? Because in the process, I learned that warning you get every time you try to run tmux inside of a tmux and you forget you're running a session. It says, you can't do this. Be careful. Make sure you unset the tmux environment variable. Well, there's actually a very legitimate case where you would want to do that. And that's what this is. So I'm looking at a case where I'm running 2 tmux servers. And when I start the other tmux server, I use the tmux-l. So if you don't know about this, so it's tmux-L some name, and that will start up a tmux session, like a server for tmux under that name. And then every one of your commands needs to have -l with that name in it. So I have one called Twitch. And when you do that, you can also tell it what configuration file you want to use specifically. And so you can have separate configurations for separate tmux servers running on the same server, and you can combine them by, unsetting the environment variable and doing whatever. So that's how I'm doing all of this, magic. And yeah, if you didn't know about that, it's kind of a cool thing. In fact, you can see that in when I fire up my session, this is all left over in a script that needs to be replaced with my live command. But if I go to the Twitch command, you can see here, I just integrated my new authentication tool. I'm really proud of that. But here we go. So we've got, you got all your stuff here, but here's the one, I have a tmux command here. And you see here, exec tmux-l twitch-f twitch config, and I have a completely different set of configurations that include, by the way, this up here. So this is the status line. The status line up at the top here is actually a status line for the encapsulating tmux and not for the underlying tmux. That's why when I make a mistake, like when I do this, see that down here? So I have 2 different status lines or command line things. I have the one that goes with my embedded tmux, which is in the top half of the screen, and then I have the other stuff that's just present all the time. And this status line, by the way, is designed. You can set your tmux. There's so much to talk about there. You can set your tmux status to read from a file, and that's what this is doing right here. So this is reading from my status file, which is .status in my home directory, and this over here is just my customized, naming and stuff. And so yeah, that's kind of the magic that's going on there. One of the things about tmux that this entire live streaming is, again, you guys might make fun of me for having all of this kind of, silly fun, but I've really learned a lot about tmux doing this. And so a lot of times when you're having fun and screwing around, I don't think we should knock ourselves for it, because I'm learning things that there's no way I would have known it because I never would have considered it useful. But so one of those extremely useful things that transfers is swapping panes, splitting windows, and sending commands. These are things when I first came to tmux, I went, bah, humbug, I don't want that. That's horrible. That's silly. I would never do that. Why would you, and tmux came off to me as this bloated piece of crap that I would never use. I would just stick with screen the whole time. God damn it. And then I started realizing that you can send keystrokes to individual panes. And I was like, what? This means that you can script anything. So people ask me what my IDE is, or they ask me what my window manager is, and my answer is always tmux, because it is the most scriptable, most, I suppose, universal. I use whatever is on the machine, and then I fire up GNOME, and I full screen, and I use tmux for everything. Tmux is so powerful that you can literally do anything with it that is terminal related, and you can script everything. You can write your own plugins. You can have multiple configurations. It's crazy how amazing it is, and so at that point, I'm completely content to just use it for this kind of things. This is literally typing the commands that I would enter to connect to Twitch, and then it clears the buffer. So it's basically like macros, terminal macros. And that's just running from a script that gets called. But I wanted to show you this mostly because I wanted to show you how to start a new server and how to have a different file, and I have these different files which are symbolically linked to a private repo that keeps track of all my configurations. There is one part of this process that I still have to fix. That's a little bit insecure at the moment. Oh, did you make your own VIC? Cool. Yeah, VIC is just, it's such an easy little hack, isn't it? Not funny. Some of the greatest little tips are the tiny little ones. And that's funny because that's one of those things that I did all the time. I would VI and then which. I was like, I just need to make a command for this. So yeah. Let's see. So this is a little confession here. Even though I'm using WeChat for the IRC, this is another reason I want to do this. I'm never going to be able to get rid of WeChat or IRC at all because of Twitch. It makes no sense to have a Twitch bot login when you can just connect to an IRC server and just have that available all the time. And WeChat is pretty damn configurable. So the biggest reason for this is because, okay, you know what? It's not out of the realm of possibility, I should say. It's possible that, let me completely back up. I'm complaining about WeChat for a second because WeChat stores OAuth tokens in the clear in files. And I don't like that. There's a way to get around it. You can encrypt it and stuff like that. But I have to save this OAuth token so frequently, and I now that I have the auth app written, has a bug in it right now. It's not granting when it should be refreshing. Anyway, but when I run it, I wanted to commit the new OAuth token and use that one going forward, and I want to make a new one every time, so that I'm not, leaving my token out there for some reason for somebody to steal or something. If they broke onto my system, it's a zero trust idea, right? You shouldn't have anything in files that you should care about, and OAuth is not encrypted yet. But it's every bit as safe as Secure Shell is, because if you're using Secure Shell and you're saving private keys and you don't have passphrases on them, you've already been okay with that level of security. And I kind of am, just for the sake of convenience. I mean, I don't want to, the automations that I have with Git and stuff like that, I would have to type a passwords every time. I ain't doing that. I don't need to, because SSH I've got an agent that's running on KeePassXC. That's why I can't do any commits unless my agent is running. And that really truly means that I don't need to have any tokens stored on disk. So that does kind of bother me that auth is still not encrypted. And that's okay. I'm not gonna stress about that. But every time I use, if I did that, every time I called auth in my integrations, I would have to type a password in. And I don't really mind that. I would have to type the master password in, and I don't really mind that completely. That's kind of the point, and I'll probably add that eventually. But right now, the JSON file is flat, and the information in it is no less secure than would be if you were storing private keys on your Secure Shell. So anyway, but this thing bothers me too, because it's yet another OAuth key that's being stored on disk, and this is just a little Perl one-liner for changing that line I've been experimenting with to have the latest token in it so that it will start up without complaining. Anyway, so and Twitch, the Twitch script that I wrote is just one big hack. It always has been. And that's kind of what's driving all of this, is I'm starting to think, hey, maybe I should formalize a little bit more some of these tools. There might be some other terminal users out there I would love to watch other people's terminal streams. And we don't see a lot of them because reasons, right? I think one of those reasons is it's not particularly obvious how to do this. And, I had to do a lot of, hacking and research and stuff to figure out, how to do this. So might as well formalize a little bit. Oh boy, I'd say that's my clear command. I forgot about that one. That clears my WeChat. But one of the reasons I'm dependent on WeChat is because of the WeChat FIFO. So the WeChat FIFO is and is a thing that WeChat uses to send information. So if I this is actually, oh, how's it going? Name random TV. So so if I do this, if I do so that WeChat FIFO, if I just echo hello there to and I pipe it into if I append it to the WeChat FIFO, it should work. Actually, I need to put something in front of it or it won't do it. I think it's I think there has to be more there. That's in my S command. Oops, that's not it. Type S is an alias for we. Yeah. VAC we. So, all it does is, it has to have a star in front of it. So that's all. I don't really need to do it. I can just show you. So, FIFOs are first in, first out. So, are a Unix thing. And WeChat uses one. And so, anything that gets this outcome, I can just run from any pane anywhere. All I have to do is just, send data. That's why EEX can do the same thing. It just has to send the data to this FIFO, and you get this. So that makes it so that I can do S hello there, and it just sends all the arguments and it goes straight into the chat. So I don't have to change to the chat, which I really love because I like being able to chat from any window. And that's a real big plus to me. So maybe sometimes I want to write something that's really long, and you see me do that, right? Because when you type S like this, what it does is it opens a channel to the thing. So after you type every line, it goes to the FIFO. So one line, another line. You've seen me do this a lot on the stream. And so at any moment, all I have to do is that, and I've got, this is why I'm kind of dependent on IRC, WeChat, or at least a FIFO interface. So if I were to, another alternative to this would be, and I'm seriously considering this. I'm going to draw a picture of it. Rather than having to deal with the lag in Restream. Both ways. There's lag both ways on Restream. I would like to potentially, and I don't know if this is possible, but I'm going to try to draw a picture. So what we'd have is as I go around dev, so we have Twitch over here. So I really, this is the thing I've been really reconsidering Restream a lot. I mean, I like it a lot. I like the Restream, but I was actually looking at what's the other provider everybody uses, StreamYard. But StreamYard only supports like 5 or 6 services. Restream is really trying to support a lot of people, and then it says anybody else who supports, what is it? What's the name of the stream? R something PTP, RSTP, I think it is, whatever the stream protocol is. So StreamYard, you give each one of your StreamYards you can add multiple services, but you can't integrate chat. So one of the things that I like about Restream is they're clearly targeting the market where chat is integrated. So they are doing a lot more and they're also free. And obviously they're going to hit us with a bill eventually, but because they're relatively new. And I kind of want to get ready for that. I don't necessarily, look, I will pay a service I considered seriously setting up a streaming server here because I got pretty good bandwidth, and just sending, splitting the streams to the people, to the services directly. And then I would have, I'd have no lag at all because I would be in control. But that's some serious bandwidth, and there's not everybody can like flip on a server in the corner and have that split their stream to everything, let alone have it be consistent with what's going on with the chat and stuff. So yeah, I was like, I'm for streaming services. I think it's going to be the future. But it did make me think about something that one of the things those services is never going to do. The services will never do well, and I actually think Restream is making a mistake on this particular point. How's it going, Moz? Is chat. So you guys know how far the chat has been lagging behind, right? And I don't fully understand why that is. I think it might be that the stream is lagging and therefore the chat is lagging. I think that there is some buffering going on YouTube when you do live. So because the stuff's not getting there enough, it's giving you trouble. You know what I mean? It's like it's not getting there fast enough. But at the end of the day, I really only care about, I mean, right now anyway. So we got Twitch. Unfortunately, if they're the king, it will be for a long time. It's not particularly pretty. My diagrams are not pretty. I don't claim to. So, but anyway, so we got Twitch. God, I'm trying. It's so funny. I'm having such a hard time remembering all of my commands. I used to be really good at this. How to memorize. I can't even remember how to. It's not command. Nope, that's this one. Which one is it? Is it? Oh, anyway, I can't remember which one it is. Oh, I'll just do a copy and paste. Yeah. Oh God, Control C, really? Fine. All right. So we got Twitch here. We got the YouTube. I like calling it the YouTube. I always have. I don't know why. I just do. Why are you not there at the YouTube? Oh God, the graphic artists are laughing their asses off of me. That's okay. That's okay. I accept your ridicule. I do. I accept it. I accept it. I'm a big boy. I don't have to deny the reality that is that I suck at it. Okay, so Twitch, YouTube, the YouTube. Why does it keep doing that? YouTube. It's like far too early in the morning. You know what it is? It's this here. There you go. All right, so, so we got the YouTube. Why are you not grouped? Now I'm kind of getting triggered because you're not grouped. You should be grouped. I grouped you, god damn it. All right, so there we go. Look, I am not, I am, this is just so you can see it. I could probably, you know what? I should probably connect my tablet at some point. Anyway, so we got Twitch, we got YouTube. This is where I need draw.io. Okay, I need to go get it because this is the kind of thing draw.io does really well. All right, so, and this one is Twitter. It's just actually Periscope. And that's actually kind of an annoying one because there is the ability to chat there, but nobody ever uses it. I've never once had anybody chat from there. Yes, I'm enjoying myself. You guys can talk amongst yourselves. You can talk amongst yourselves. It's totally permitted. There we go. Twitter, and there's a LinkedIn one, and then there's Discord. So that's actually. Do you guys know you can stream to Instagram? Has anybody ever done that? You guys ever done that? I've thought about streaming to Instagram because a lot of the people that would be in my demographic would want to watch Instagram. You can stream to LinkedIn. You can. You have to be approved, which of course I never will be because I'm too small time. But yeah, how do you go live on IG, Instagram? Type Instagram. How to start a live video on Instagram. Instagram live from OBS. So yeah, apparently it can be done. How to best stream qualify for Instagram now. So this is frame rate -1. Yeah. The problem I have is that streaming to Instagram is not supported by it's not supported by Restream. So that was one of the reasons I've been thinking about this whole restreaming thing and the future of it in general, which does have business application at some point as well. I think live streaming is going to have a significant business impact, just like chat did years ago. Live streaming is going to really, really take off in the enterprise at some point. And, people are going to start being able to stream within the enterprise. And you watch, mark my words, live streaming is going to become an enterprise imperative at some point. It will. Because all of this working from home shit, all the Zoom streams that are happening right now, at some point, the pointy hair bosses who control this stuff are going to say, I want to see what you're working on. And they're going to say, first of all, they'll say we allow it, and then they're going to require it, just like they require Slack right now. There was a time, and I'm going to be a prophet here, there was a time when you could be, not Instagram, no. I don't think people would watch the Instagram stream. I don't think they would. I just think the Twitter, I didn't think they would watch the Twitter one. I get some of my biggest viewership just from Twitter, even though it's a shitty stream quality. But mark my words, using IRC or any form of chat, using Linux used to get you fired. And now Slack is a business imperative. You must use it, right? And it's going to happen. Before, video conferencing was an extra thing that you got to do in the enterprise, but you had to be able to call into phone meetings. So the whole 10 years I was at IBM, not once did we do video streaming. We tried it just inside of our team for fun, and we actually found out it was just a way for us to flip each other off easier. There was like a real bad fight on one, and everybody just like totally flipped each other. It was hilarious. And so we're like, okay, that doesn't work. Plus, her hair's messy and stuff. And like, I don't really care to get dressed up for work when I can just get up and work. This is a problem now for everybody. Anyway, so video didn't work. And now video is mainstream. So now using video at work is mainstream, and it's not going away forever. It's not ever going back. So this COVID thing, one thing it's done is it's made live streaming services and video services mandatory. I mean, my wife is an artist, and the art stuff that she does, the community stuff, all of it is over Zoom, and it will be for a very long time, even after we're able to meet again in person. Video killed the radio star. It did. And so the next thing to die, the next thing to no longer be banned is going to be live streaming, because it's the natural next progression of what we're doing now. And you already are starting to see it. You're seeing people doing pair programming, which is a form of live streaming. You're seeing more and more people get on to work on their open source projects. You're seeing IBM have developer advocates doing it. And the problem is that, and I tell you what, you want to make it the next $1 billion, create the enterprise live streaming hub software. I'm going to give you that one for free. Okay. If somebody out there is listening to my voice and you want to make $1 kajillion, make an enterprise offering that's also open source, that allows people to run their own streaming services within their enterprise and have it be secure. If you add that, I swear to God, you will be. That's what I'm making next. I'm telling you, if you make, it's not even hard to make. Yeah, screw the React framework. React is fine, but the future of business is collaboration. And the only way, the next best thing, and the reason that this is going to fly is because everybody's going to want to use it. The yammer of live streaming. It's not the yammer exactly. Let's get started. I'm seriously, man, it's like one of those things. And so little tools, how does this relate to the stream on right now? So the reason so every one of these things came about because somebody just wanted it for them. So IRC started as some project from some college kids who just wanted to be able to chat at each other, right? They made it for no reason. It wasn't, for some like military purpose or anything. It was just a way to communicate. Email is kind of the same thing, a little bit more formalized. All of them started out as some cool thing. This little terminal chat that I'm doing right now is just a way to share information. Well, if live streaming is going to become mandatory at some point, being able to live stream, coding sessions is going to take many forms. And you're already seeing this with VS Code. So VS Code is already, putting in a bunch of this stuff so that you can, share and pair program and stuff. But the reason this is going to really take off is because it is the replacement for working next to other people in a cubicle. So being able to just go pull up somebody's stream at any moment or have a couple of the streams running, so you can like literally sit as if you were in the cubicle. You can change your cubicle anytime. We're already doing this, right? You guys are joining me. Some of you are putting me in the corner because you like, and then you say, I don't know how many times somebody said, it feels like I'm working next to somebody, and that you're working like right here, right next to me. It's motivating me. Well, that's not just a fun thing to do. That has business value. And that is why this is an easy sell to people with gobs and gobs of money with the corporate and within the corporate, that you can sell this as an application and just go to town. Because if you nail the business focused, corporate approved internal streaming service that works over VPN, dude, I'm telling you, that's where the money is. So, will I do it? I don't know. We'll see. So Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter, those are really the only things I care this one here is Discord. So Discord is a big one. You know what else I want to be able to stream to is Slack. I want chat integration with Slack. And I don't have that now. So this is the part where video bridging and chat bridging kind of diverge. And I want that. Time to spin up an old GitLab machine. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Well, GitLab is one of the GitLab is a good example of a product that really nailed the corporate market. GitHub was kind of not really offering things for the enterprise, a different business model. They were kind of floundering, didn't really know what they wanted to do. And, GitLab just came in and fucking dominated him. And they're like, oh shit. So, they started from the ground up with containers and GitHub almost failed, by the way, financially. It almost died. It had to be saved. It was literally on the verge of bankruptcy. And this is an interesting story if you want to go research it. GitHub was can you imagine GitHub going bankrupt? It had no profit center. It didn't know what it wanted to be, and yet it had all the source code on it. And so Microsoft actually saved it. It bought it out so that it could still exist. And that's not even hyperbole. You can go read about that. It's a pretty interesting story. And meanwhile, GitLab had come out and like really took a chunk out of their enterprise market, and GitHub refused to change and didn't have the ability to change, and was mired in controversy and scandal after scandal. And GitLab's just like, well, we're all working from home and laughing at y'all. You're living by the old Silicon Valley model, and they destroyed them. I mean, they still don't have the people using it, but the people who are using GitLab are much more significant than the people using GitHub. And GitHub is where a lot of people are going. But you look at some of the major projects in the world, where they go, So that's one of the major reasons I talk about that. So here's my integrations that I want. I want Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Discord. I do want to consider a Slack chat integration. You can't stream video to Slack, can you? I don't think you can. Can you? I don't think you can. Does anybody know? I don't use Slack at all. I probably should start, because like the Golang news groups, there's a good Golang Slack channel. But I hate Slack so much, so I just don't use it very much. Anyway, so this is what I was trying to get at. You can share your screen and draw on screen in Slack. Okay. Like, also needs the innovator die, ripe for a better alternative. Yeah, they really are. The most annoying thing for Slack for me is you can't use Markdown for code. It's like such a tiny thing. The Discord gaming platform supports Markdown. Slack doesn't. What's wrong with this picture? It's like it's like so many. They invented their own markdown syntax for Slack. They're so fucking stupid. The architects on Slack are totally out to lunch. Not to mention their design team. Their icons have sucked forever. And Discord is just eating them alive. People are using Discord for work. Probably shouldn't be, but they are just because they prefer it. It's still got problems. Discord's got massive problems, but still, they're both Electron apps at the end of the day. Anyway, the so one of the reasons I'm putting these out here is because the Discord and the Slack integrations for my little chat tool that I'm making here. There's a couple of problems we're trying to solve. One of the problems is dependency on Restream means that I can't use extra integrations for chat. And above all, I want my little terminal app to be a chat bridge. Above everything else, I want it to be a highly efficient chat bridge. And then if people want to listen to me, because I'm mostly audio based, they can listen to me and put me on YouTube or Twitter or something like that, and then they can just if they want to send me a chat message, they can. If they want to, a lot of times I'll just have music on and all the activity is happening in chat, and that's why I like that Twitch is IRC based. So the point I'm making is the most important piece of what I'm developing here is a very efficient chat bridge. And the most efficient way to do a chat bridge is without the intermediary. And I just did all this work to pull down the WebSocket chat from Restream, and I'm rethinking that completely because some people have been complaining about lag and thing, and I'm wondering what it would take to write bots and bypass Restream completely. That will also allow me to pay less money for streaming services, because eventually there's going to be competition in the streaming services Restream market, and there's going to be fully integration. I mean, right now with Restream and with StreamYard, you're paying for a lot of shit that I don't need. You're paying for the ability to bring people. You're paying for all this convenience for like Gary V on StreamYard. He's like one of their primary sponsors. There's already a ton of competition. Docker won't take over Slack anytime soon. Wait, which one? Who just bought Slack, by the way? Slack just got bought out by somebody. Who was it? Slack has all of the enterprise features that would need to take a complete rewrite of Discord to achieve. Yes. What are you talking about? Name one thing. All of its integrations? Yeah. Well, then why the fuck don't they support Markdown in their chat client? Salesforce. Yes. Salesforce brought it. Yeah. Thank you. So Slack isn't going anywhere. It's the leader. Full company team support. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Vera, I know you're talking from CTO land, so fine. I hear what you're saying. This is obviously the reason that people like Slack, and there's lots and lots and lots of integrations that you can write for it that are people are using. By the way, I did a long time ago. I did a big thing when I was really big into conversational UI. But Slack is turning everybody into command line users. This is my premise, and you guys wonder why I like my command tab stuff, right? So you guys know I've been doing, my auth tool, so this thing here, my built-in helper tool. So this is my commander. And the reason I choose a commander like this that doesn't have a bunch of crazy dashes in it is because it's conversationally friendly. And the reason I like conversational friendly UIs or command line interfaces is because the whole world is moving to a chat text interface, including Slack. So Slack has convinced very non-technical business people to use the command line. And I'm going to support that. I wish to have a video all about this. So Slack's integrations are so amazing in terms of like the back end stuff. The other stuff is shit. But on the back end, people are creating chats. Like Salesforce is why Salesforce bought them, probably. Because you could say, show me my sales numbers. And they're entering commands into chat that are being processed by bots on the back end, and they're giving them the stuff. And those queries that they're writing are getting more and more complex. And this is also why I find Pagan so compelling, because with Pagan you can write your own grammars, and with grammars you can write your own bots that are really intelligent, that can have a full language syntax. And you can write domain specific languages in Pagan that are implemented on the back end, and the back end can process and parse those commands in a natural language form. And then those things can be translated into business logic, and your business interface, your interface to your business logic between your business users and your business logic is now the command line through Slack, using a domain language that you've written in Pagan. So pause to think about that for a second, but this is where everything is going. The world is moving to the command line, and the command line is becoming human friendly. And those two things, because we're talking to Alexa and all that stuff, those are all just chat interfaces. They're all just chat interface. All it's text. It's all just natural language words. And now you have, AI, machine learning, and it's even learning how to formulate, words and stuff like that. So when you combine all of those things together, what you end up with is a world of command line users. They don't think they're not using tmux and stuff, but our whole world, every time we're tapping stuff out with our thumbs, we are using a command line, every time. And every time they do an emoji, or they add an exclamation point because they want some extra information, or they're typing a complicated query through Salesforce sees the writing on the wall, and they know that the application to have for that in the enterprise is Slack. And what's the other main application that hasn't come yet? The live streaming video that goes with the chat. And if Slack has half a brain, which I don't know if they do, if Slack has half a brain, they will add live streaming, because they're the one that's most set up to do it. And somebody said they're already able to, already has video sharing. Yeah. So, but the problem is that with video sharing is different than live streaming. So, you know what I mean? I guess maybe not, because you can, like in Discord, I think it's the same, right? So you can turn your desktop on, and then people can just join your desktop anytime. So I guess that's going to be the closest enterprise thing to that, and it's already got legs. So that's probably going to be the thing that wins. So maybe there's not a big value proposition in making an internal live streaming service. Although I do think there is. I think there's still going to be, like, Bloomberg has got an internal. There you got, they made a lot of money off of internal communications within a company. I used to be good friends with the director of internal communications for Nike. That's how I got to go to the Olympics, because I kept facilitating live stream chats and things like that at Nike by writing all the software for. And so, yeah, I got Phil Knight's seat at the Olympics because he didn't want to go. True story. And so, so it's all peer-to-peer RTMP. I think it is. Is it peer-to-peer? Interesting. Yeah, well, RTMP is really the thing that's changing everything. So why do I give a shit about all this stuff? I don't think it's peer-to-peer, is it? Is it centralized? It's not Slack that does that? Whatever it is that does it, because they're going to have to deal with the bandwidth issue. Yeah. Is it third party? Interesting. Well, why do I care? Okay, so the reason I care about all this, and that this has to do with my little app that I'm making, is because I want to figure out how to integrate these services that is something that I can support long term. Right now, I have a really hardcore dependency on Restream, and that's fine. I depend on Restream primarily for the RTMP redistribution. Yeah, I know, but people haven't been really pushing it hard. RTMP. So RTMP. So I think what's going to happen is I think that there's going to be some budget Restream services that are going to pop up, and I don't know of any right now. There might be some that already exist. That intermediate streamers, that all they do is they just fork your stream and send it to a bunch of people. And they don't have any chat integration. They don't have all the extra shit that the StreamYard have for, doing all those things. Live streaming on AWS. What is this? I gonna regret clicking on this? Copy link. What do we got here, Vera? So what I'm getting at is I'm feeling compelled to write bots for all of the main chat services. And when I start up my tool, have it log into the chat services as a bot. And if I do that, then I don't have to depend on the speed of Restream translating and relaying all of my chat. I can have direct access to the chat as it's coming in. And if there's delay, it'll be because they are synchronizing. In the case of YouTube, I'm pretty sure they're synchronizing the speed of the chat with the speed of the video, so that they're synchronizing, coming in at the right time. And I don't think that's a part of RTMP. I think that those are separate things. So yeah, over the top solutions for live video streaming. Offer 2 solutions. Live streaming on AWS should be with high integrity. Really? Holy shit. So are you saying that they have a RTMP solution and that's all it does? Wow. That is super cool. Open link. Yeah. And multi-stream to 30 platforms and boost your views. Broadcast your videos. 7-day trial. Cancel all the time. Restream so far is the only one that I've seen that's free. Broadcast 2 time encoding inputs. Ocean groups. Thank you for sending these. Yeah, thanks a lot for sending these. These are useful. So let it be said that that the providers of stream services, and I'm no expert, of course, I'm just getting into this Restream stuff, I think they're sort of going to be sorted out over time. Take care, Q. The Ant Media Server, but see, the problem is you have to put that in. I think Ant doesn't have to be. Let me go read about it. I want to say something stupid. I thought Ant had to be installed locally. Yep. Ultra low latency, WebRTC. To enable streaming of any type, live on demand video. Yeah. This is nice, but this still burns your bandwidth, right? So, you built out a CDN that had live stream capabilities in early 2010 using RTM. Nice. That's pretty awesome, dude. Yep. But this is interesting. Thank you for showing me this. This looks like the since you're recommending it, I'd kind of heard of it, but not really. What happened to Last Miles? Is his channel gone, or did he just stop streaming? I brainwashed. He just doesn't stream in the middle of the night, I don't think, right? He took his channel down all the way? Why would he do that? Why would he do that? Dennis is awesome, man. Why would he do that? Did somebody get mad at him? You know what? He was like in the face. Somebody complained about him. That because there was enough cause. There was so much cause to get rid of him. I feel sorry for that guy. He showed boobies on stream. that sounds about right. That sounds about right. That's kind of what I was trying to say more politically correctly. I fucking love Dennis. You know, he's no shits to give. He's just like so done. This is one of the reasons I've been talking about streaming alternatives. Because I actually think that Twitch is not going to maintain its stranglehold on streaming for a long time. Loving the stream, coding with Jew. You stream gaming at the moment. Just create a new channel for coding. By using Restream is not against TOS once you are an affiliate. It is, which is why I gave up my affiliate. Yeah. Yeah, people think I'm really stupid for that. God, I had three to $500 coming through the door every month just for, whatever, like 200 subs. No, 200 or 300 subs, something like that. I can't remember. And I was flying high as affiliate. I was trying to get partner, and then I realized the only reason that I wanted partner, I said it many times on the stream, you can go back and look at them, was because I had people complaining about transcoding. And the only way you get transcoding on Twitch is if you're partner. So I was like sucking up to Twitch, and I was doing all this thing, and I wasn't tweeting it, and I was like conflicted the whole time. It's my little sad story here, because I was like, I really liked what Twitch offers. I'm gonna always be grateful to them. I'm kind of slamming on them a lot lately, but because of the in stream, they got to make money. That's the hard thing, Here's the thing: I would pay somebody like Twitch a minimum amount if they would not put ads on everything, because that's worth it to me. But that all adds up, right? So anyway, so I actually wrote an email. I was like looking through the terms of service. So I was like, sure enough, you can't restream it, and because there were some educators that were doing it, and I read about it, and I gave up the money. Now here's the really crazy thing: I had people who were still auto sub to me, who could not unsub, because they were really happy to process my email, and they removed my sub. Go RTP web server. What? Thank you, bro. And so that's my story. So I give it, strangely, last month I still got like a check from Twitch for like 100 and whatever, deposit in PayPal for like $130. I'm like, where is this money coming from? And I have a theory. Twitch never spent the time to deal with people who didn't want to be affiliate anymore. So you have to write an email, first of all, right? So then they changed my status to affiliate. They got rid of my affiliate, and it reset some things, and I still keep getting notifications about my path to affiliate, and I've like fulfilled all of these things to be affiliate. But nobody can unsub. There's no button to unsub. People are asking me all the time, how do I sub to you? How do I give you bits? I'm like, you can't, because I restream. I paid the penalty for transcoding. So the main reason that I do that is because YouTube has unlimited storage. Yeah, you can't even get rid of it. So I have a feeling that there's people who are subbed to me who can't unsub. but I can't prove that yet, but that's my theory. I have, is that there's people who are still subbed. I can actually look them up too. I should probably go do that. Is my Twitch interface working for that? I think I still have that. Wait, let me see if it works. Twitch subs. Oh, no, shit. Yeah, it's not working right now. But I have, wait, do I have VIPs working? No, VIPs command not found. Shoot. I have, God, what was it? Oh, well, let's see who's streaming right now. Here's how that works. So some of the API is still working. I have to update my little thing. Yeah. Yep, I'm not in the top. I'm never in the top 10 anymore. Because it's just me, doing random shit without my. As soon as I stopped doing video, the number of viewers went to 0. But the viewers are way better. They're like so much better. I do not mind. But so that's the rest of my story there, and I'll go back to working on my project. But the reason I did it was because I wanted to be able to have transcoding, unlimited transcoding, have for no extra money, because YouTube does that. I wanted to have automatic infinite storage of live streams, which I don't know how they're doing that. How the hell is YouTube offering unlimited archiving of live streams? They must have so much data storage. People keep talking about data getting, and it just blows my mind. It blows my mind that I can stream for 10 hours a day at 1080p and have them store it for free. they add another petabyte per continent per month. Are you kidding me? Really? Wow. That's insane. That is insane. I mean, they joke about datageddon, and that's just crazy. At some point, they're not going to be able to keep doing that. They're going to have to throw away the old stuff, and that's fine. Not a multiple. Oh, wow. That's just crazy. Petabytes. Wow. Yeah, I mean, the amount of storage, I don't see that ever being a problem, no. The reason is because the one thing that's outpacing everything else is storage capacity. And they're going to be storing shit on crystals pretty soon. So I don't think storage is ever going to be an issue because the pace of storage is not, you know, capped by Moore's law or anything. It's just going crazy. How the amount of storage that they're able to do. Peter, your video is not, let's see, even more astonishing. Every video is available everywhere in the world instantly. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, I mean, you know, that we are really living in an amazing time. So let's just take a moment to note that. Restreaming server written in Go. Now, the problem with a restreaming server like this is that you have to have wow, this has got a, wait a second. This looks like it's got a UI. Similar to Restream. Restreaming server that can stream to YouTube, Twitch, and custom RTP servers. Cool. I might have to clone this sucker. This looks really awesome. Docker, Yarn, Redis. Once the video is transcoded, yes. Internal proxies, yes. Go run main go. Are you kidding me? A learning project. Yarn. Why would you have a Yarn front end? I mean, really. Why would you do that? That's just, no. So anyway, the problem, so how much bandwidth are we talking about here? This is, you know what? This is the Conan main. I know, that's just crazy. I mean, why would you do that? That's just not cool. I mean, I know why they're doing it. I just don't like it. Okay. So they just don't want to make a installer. Anyway, am I going all through all of this? I'm going through all of these questions because, yeah, you can, but see, then you're paying for the, either way you're paying for bandwidth, right? So what I want to know is what are the numbers like for a live stream? Because I know I can run, I actually watched a whole video on setting up your own VPN using OpenVPN in DigitalOcean. It's super cool. It's actually really easy. I didn't realize it was that easy. You just have to set up, you basically, the whole video is how to create your own VPN. So if you don't care about the exit nodes of your VPN bouncing around to different places, like, you know, a pseudo Tor sort of thing, playback rate 3800 kPa, yes. So here's my question: how much bandwidth are you burning up to fork out 1, 2, 3 streams? So that's your current streaming rate, right? So, oh, I see what you're saying. So I would have to multiply that times every stream. So I could probably do the math on that. Discord and Slack are chat services, so I don't need their YouTube. That doesn't need to get the video feed. What would really be cool is if you could filter off the video from the audio. And I don't know enough about RRTMP to know about that. That would be super cool to study, though. Because if you could do that, then I could make a podcast, and that would be way less bandwidth. Do you know what I mean? So imagine that there are audio-only streams, radio, you know, kind of live streams, and I haven't even looked at those yet, that are not podcasts, you know, so you could just tune into somebody. So yeah, so you have the chat, and then you have the video element, and you have the audio element. If you can transcode video, surely you can pluck out just the audio. Yeah, I'm sure technically it can be done. I don't know the tools. I haven't looked at it, and I don't know what service you would relay to. So I do know that like YouTube, for example, has an RSS feed that you can use for podcasts. A lot of people don't know this. So I've actually been wanting to add this to my artofxrob.live. I want to add a link that's just to the podcast format for YouTube. Because it has an RSS feed and everything. And the RSS feed is the basis for podcasts. And so then I could put that into a podcast. What did you do? You figured it out? 1800 megabytes per hour per stream. So that would be, we would have the incoming stream and we'd have the outgoing stream, right? Right, Vera? Because we would have the incoming stream coming from me. It would go to the server. It would get split into 3 outbound video streams, and the total amount of bandwidth incoming and outgoing would be, that amount times 4 per hour. So yeah, and then you'd have to add up what that would be over the course of 10 hours. So you'd have a number of live streaming servers plus 1. Yep. Yeah, I like this. Thank you for helping me with those numbers. I need to actually put a note together that's got that in there. So yeah, and why am I talking about all this technical architecture stuff? Because this architecture stuff is going to decide the future of this dumb little chat app that I'm making. Because, right now I'm building the whole entire thing based on pulling down the WebSockets API from Restream for my chat. But if I can get better performance by creating or using an existing open source restreaming tool like that Go server and all I need to do is do that, and then I can have a bots log into every one of the chats, then I bypass the middleman. Not only do I not have to get the Restream shit on my pages every day, but I can 54. Yeah. Okay. So, did some calculations on what if we used DigitalOcean for my own restreaming of our RTMP. Did I do that right? Why is that not a known word? It should be. In conjunction with chat from bots logged into the services to remove all lag. Or to reduce lag, I guess. So that's what we're talking about doing here, and that's a much different app at that point. It's not just integrating with the API for Restream, which is kind of limited, frankly. It's a good one, but it's missing a bunch. I'm glad I did it because I learned a lot about OAuth authentication. I learned a lot about, I wrote my whole, flow for that. And I, did the whole thing with WebSockets server, the WSUtil, which I probably will use for lots of other things. So anyway, so let's see. So it's about, so you said at 4,000K, let's see, 1,800. So at 1,800 per hour per stream at 4,000 kilobits, kbps. And so that's about, so YouTube, are you saying, so YouTube plus Twitch plus Periscope. So did you say 3 or 4? You did, what was the 540,000 number? And bandwidth per stream. That's interesting because that is the exact cost. DigitalOcean at 10 cents per gigabyte. I was doing 1. Interesting. That's so interesting because that is the exact cost for Restream if you want to pay them to remove the restreaming thing. Per 1. How many did you, I'm sorry, how many did you have? Oh, per stream per month. Oh, wow. So yeah, that is a little bit more. That's kilobits, right? Yep. 540 gigabytes, gigabits. It's probably that, actually. Or is it gigabytes? I don't, whatever. Per stream per month. And that is, DigitalOcean. You're like fast at this stuff. Thank you. You're doing all my math for me. DigitalOcean at 0.10 per gigabyte, and that means, yeah, that's like, but your $50 number per stream is per stream, so $54 per stream per month. At Dio. All right, so that's a lot. That's not just the overage. As it basically, to get one of those basic droplets, it comes with a 1 terabyte transfer for $5 a month. Yeah, that's what I have actually. 1 terabyte to transfer. How long would I do the math for that? since you're doing my math, do this calculation for me. So, oh, that's so funny to me. Okay, so how much is terabyte? Terabyte is 10 gigabytes. I'm not in my head math, guys. So it'd be 504 gigabytes. So it'd be 1 terabyte. So that's like one stream would be burned in well, how many hours a day did you do? Did I miss that? Or did you do like 24 hours a day? First 2 streams are free. 10 hours. Yeah. 10 hours, 3 days. Oh, that's where the 2 streams are free came from. I get you. Okay. So 10 hours, 30 days. Yeah. Okay. So if we did that, then that means 10 hours a day for 30 days. Yeah, that's their 54. Okay. I have a private orange. Just coming up with the questions and ask Kieran around to do the math. Well, he can do it. He's the dude. We need 2 times the droplets. Yeah. So you could actually, you get 2 terabytes for free. Well, the problem is if I did that is I'd have to have an inbound stream. I have to split my stream here. You know what I mean? I wonder if that would be cheaper. Like, what if no, because I could split a stream here. And I mean, I've thought about even splitting the stream from my home because I have pretty good bandwidth now. You restream one droplet to the other. Yeah. Yeah, that's internal network bandwidth. I don't think it counts against you, if I remember right. Yeah, and then yeah, so you'd have several. So we're talking. So to do force. So let's see. So if I did, I don't really need Periscope. Oh, can I try something? I need to try something. I've been meaning to do this because I hate that the Periscope is like really low end. And I mean it sucks. It's like, and what I've been meaning to try is what happens if I post a YouTube live to. It sucks. It's like, wow, that's like pretty up to date. Bro, have you tried to build your own OS? Hey, Wizzuck. No, not yet. Why did I not get your message? Oh, you know why? Because I'm not logged into the bot thing. I'm sorry, YouTubers. I'll need to fix that. So I have not built my own OS. I'm not that good. Someday I will. Anyway, so if I copy out and I share the stream, right? So what I've been meaning to do is see what it looks like on Twitter, and I have a feeling Twitter's not going to be happy because Twitter wants you to buy their Periscope service. So I'm just doing a test here. Just doing a test of a live stream post. Because then I could put this if I do this, I could actually make it, I could pin it. Does that make sense? And then people could just go to Twitter. They'd see me posting all the time. But I have the feeling, yep, nothing. Nothing. See, they don't want to allow a live stream on here. They could have, right? So let me go back here. Okay, there we go. Just doing a test of the live stream. So, let's see, with Ingress receiving the stream and then saying, so there's something about this. I mean, this is all fine and dandy. Let's see, with Ingress receiving the stream and then saying, so there's something about this. I mean, this is all fine and dandy. Hello, check 1 2. Hello, check 1 2. Check 1 2. Hello, check 1 2. Here it comes. Check 1 2. Check. So watch, we can make a big screen. Hello. Check. So watch, we can make a big screen. Hello. So why am I caring about this? Because Ingress receiving the stream and then sending to each outbound server. Yes. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Okay, so I believe for DO it's actually 1 cent per gigabyte. It might be. Is it 1 cent per gigabyte? That would be interesting. So the only reason I'm looking at the Twitter stuff is I have been seriously conflicted about doing the Periscope crap. Because here's why. So if you go to the Periscope stuff, like plays automatically and check, and it doesn't have a link. You know what I mean? It automatically plays. It's a much better experience, like looking at it. Pricing bandwidth, yeah. 0.1 yeah. Okay. And so, but look at how shitty the quality is. You see this? You know what I mean? It automatically plays. It's a much better experience, like looking at it. Pricing bandwidth. I wonder if we could have both of these on at the same time. What would happen? Okay. And so, but look at how shitty the quality is. Oh my God. Do you see this? You know what I mean? It automatically plays. Do you see this? It's like not even a close comparison. All right, I just learned something. I don't think I've ever been able to see that on the screen together at the same time. This is horrendously bad. And this is what you expect. And this is free, and this is free, and there's really no reason to do this. And if I'm going to have to pay for an extra restream, why would I do that? Right? I would rather, again, this is informing my decision to what to put into this little chat app that I'm making. Because rather than, what I would rather write is a Twitter integration that posts my live stream with a link to the YouTube, because then somebody can click on it and they can watch it while it's happening, as opposed to this, because this is shit. I mean, look at that. You can't even read it. So that is really important. I need to put that in my notes, because that's just unacceptable. I've been bothered by that for a while, and my bad. I was looking at their APP bandwidth overage. Are you saying it's 1 cent instead of 10 cents? Or are you talking about 0.10 cents? So we need to revise our math. So, in other words, you need to revise. Don't pay for inbound. You don't? Bullshit. You don't pay for inbound? Yes, you do. You definitely do. You definitely do. I don't believe that. I'm incredulous on that. I gotta go to bed here in a half an hour or so. So this has been fun. So it looks like it clearly is better to send a link to the YouTube live stream instead of using Periscope at all, which is horrendous quality in comparison. The only, let's see, the only effective difference is that users, let's see, viewers of your followers on Twitter cannot see the number of views and also don't see it play automatically, and also have to click to make the video play. So I'm dropping streaming to Twitter, which has the added bonus of allowing people. I wonder if I would just send them to the Twitch stream. I guess that'd be the same. YouTube's easier. There's more of a chance they're going to have YouTube. Allowing people to participate in chat immediately. And sub if they like. After all, if I ever wanted to monetize, YouTube would be the place to send people. All right, so that is that. What does it mean that I'm disappearing from Twitch? I didn't say that. I'm still on Twitch. No, Twitch is kind of assumed. So, yeah, as long as Twitch is around, I'll be streaming to it. Yeah. No, so Twitch has to stay. Twitch is, I still go to Twitch for when I want to just watch live streamers, you know, but I wish they had better content. I'm annoyed with Twitch, but I don't think, I don't think I'm ever gonna not do that. Mostly because of the IRC interface. So this is another thing I've been wondering about with Twitch. So if I, all right, so I'm going to draw some conclusions here. A couple of conclusions, going back to my other diagram. One of my conclusions is no more Twitter. Boom. Actually, no. I'm going to leave Twitter in here, but now Twitter becomes a chat integration, right? And you know what I should do is I should make it so that people respond to, I need to write this down. Also, I need to detect when people make comments on a Twitch, on a Twitter post of a live YouTube video, or what's it called? Retweet it. So that I can get the notification in real time. So there's a bunch of stuff that we can do with Twitter integration, which is completely different, by the way, because it uses OAuth and not OAuth 2. It's kind of annoying, but so it's not really a chat bridge even. It's more, it's kind of its own thing, right? So might need to put that in its own kind of space. So these have chat and video, and this is just it's just its own thing. So However, people were telling me I need to turn comments on too, and I need to turn. Oh, that reminds me. That reminds me that I also have to integrate comments on the live stream videos. Videos so that they show up in the chats, in the chat log /pane, because this is what's happening. People are posting things to the comments section and stuff like that. I'm not seeing it. At least, and I have comments off actually. I need to go turn it back on. I should probably do that while I'm thinking of it. I think that's something I can do without freaking you guys out. Hey, we got you can see my political stuff. Anyway, where's YouTube? Where's the YouTube? There it is. And oh wait, there's some more people talking on YouTube. See, I'm sorry guys, I can't. I'm temporarily. I got my bot off from Restream, so I'm not seeing your chat come in because we're talking about making a better one. There's an app which has free version and beta version, and my friend made a free version and beta version by making his own scripts by coding. Please tell me how I can do that also. Please answer my question, which has a free version and a beta version, and my friend make free version. Beta by making his own scripts by coding. Please tell me. I don't know what you're asking. Otherwise, I can't really help you. I'm sorry. Sorry, Pew. I'd have to have more information. Besides, I'm not really focused on that right now. But you're welcome. You know what? You should join our Discord, because you can ask those kind of questions in our Discord, and there's like tons and tons of people there that will help you. That's interesting. We do have 4 viewers from YouTube. That's cool. Data centers almost never use all of their inbound bandwidth. It's like 900 meg. Okay. Wow, really? That's good to know, Vera. You should actually make the whole framework modular. Of course. Why would you say that? Of course I would. I want to make stuff you can plug into it. Yeah. But one of the modular pieces is that, let's see, I'm asking that my friend has converted a free app to beta app by coding, and I have to also do that. I have no idea what that means. I have a feeling that you are you real? I mean, I don't know. What does beta mean to you? I don't know what that means. It's confusing. Where's the Discord link? Good question. On the YouTube, if you go to my main channel, it's on the top. So I'll go there for you right now. So if you go to the channel, it's right up here. It's up here. It should be up here. Nope. GitLab, Twitter. What? Do I not have a Discord link up there? Fuck. All right. Well, so much for that. So click on Twitch, and on Twitch there's a link from there. This is good for me. I'm cleaning up the stuff on my stream that I need to take care of. A whole 17 people in the Twitch stream. Thank you for joining. And I know there's a Discord link. There it is. Discord. I'm going to click on the link because, ouch, my eyes. There's 126 online. So there you go. There's my invite. You get my automatic invite. You know what? I'll even post it in the stream for you. How about that? So you can go join it. And beta means paid version, bro. Billy Ferris, like, but you want to pirate an app? This isn't the place to ask for that. Yeah, I think he was talking about. Yeah, he wants to make a free app into a beta app by coding. Yeah, don't bother me. It's illegal. Yeah, I mean, you can come in there if you're going to ask how to hack apps, how to hack computers and stuff, and make free software out of that. You can get the fuck out right now. Because, yeah, no, get the fuck out. In fact, you're banned for suggesting that. So goodbye. Goodbye. Hide this channel. Put the user in timeout. This user message will be hidden, undo. And I'm going to report you for asking how to hack computers. So, harassment or bullying, child abuse, unwanted commercial content. Oh, damn. There's no quality. There's nothing to do for him there. Making me join multiple servers. Sheesh. Hey, Bill Nash. It's good to have you in here. That was fun. I should probably just time him out. Should I give him moderator access? That'd be cool. See what he does with that. You don't use bad words here. Yes, please go away. We don't want you. Go away. I just can't figure out how to make you go away. I would have banned you already. So, yeah, look, dude, don't try to hack software and get it for free. The end. And so, no, I'm not afraid, Mr. I type everything in all caps with an initial cap because I don't know English. Time for you to go away. You really need to go away. Remove. How about that? It is fun, isn't it? Dang it. I only deleted the one message. I need to like really give him the out report. Am I afraid? Why would I be afraid? Oh my God. You can't even spell English. All right. So wait. No, put the user in time. I don't want a fucking timeout. I want to ban. How do I ban him? Hide this user on this channel. Okay, hide. There we go. User's message will be hidden. Yay. Bye-bye. However, have your mouse over the message of the viewer you want to block. Oh, look at you. Look at you knowing how to do shit. No, it's like, put the user in timeout. I don't want timeout. If you have it, pay for it. Sometimes wrote that. You know what? You know what's a really bad idea? Just anybody who's actually watching this. Go into a forum that's full of software developers who are paid for developing software and ask how to make it so that you can get somebody's software for free. How fucking stupid do you have to be to do that? That is like so stupid. Yeah, let's go talk to a whole community of software developers who make a living developing software, and let's ask them how we can cheat the system and get software for free. Oh, I just think that's funny. Anyway, bye-bye, Pew Critic. So it was fun. I don't know. What's your IP address? Exactly. There you go, Bill. That's what I'm talking about. That's the way to deal with that. I should have, God damn, I should have been faster to my feet there. I should have thought of that. That's, yeah, anti-social engineering. Oh, that's so fun. All right. So yeah, I actually did make some progress today, believe it or not. The biggest progress I made is deciding what I'm building. And you might laugh, but that is really important because if you don't know, you spend how much time. So I've already wasted, I'm not going to say wasted because I learned, but I wrote all of this Restream integration shit. And, you know, tonight I was like kind of standing back from the whole approach. And I'm like, why am I putting all my eggs in the Restream basket? And, you know, Varus suggested modularity, of course, that goes without saying, but it's true. We need to be making things that can integrate with lots of things. And if I can do my own stream, I have more control, and I can do chatbots that are integrated directly with the services chat as a chat bridge, and then there's no lag. And so that will address several needs that I have. It also means that somebody could write any sort of chat bridge app, and they could plug it in and say, okay, now this is the piece for this. This is the piece for this, and they would log in. Now, the other thing about this is that this can get really crazy really fast. This makes me want to use HashiCorp's process interoperability library, which is so fucking awesome, and I'm going to show it to you because I can. This is an old thing that was made a long time ago that I've been dying to try. Interop. I gotta figure. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it. It's on DigitalOcean's this is, why am I searching here? This is stupid. I should be using my text browser. What am I doing? Silly guy. All right, so HashiCorp. So this is an alternative to Golang modules, if you know what those are. And I'm going to try to figure out where it is. Counters the module block. Nope, that's not it. It's not Terraform. Everybody's going to be about, it's all going to be about Terraform right now because that's their big popular thing right now. But see, this is, I think this is actually how they made, I don't know. Actually, probably not, because Terraform's a web thing. They have one of the, basically what they did is they wrote a protocol that operates over standard input and standard output. And then the way that they have modules, the modularity in their system is another executable. So you put these executables that fulfill this interface into a directory and they're good to go. Now, one of the things that I've been considering doing with this is actually, that's probably overkill, but what if you did gRPC over standard input and output or over an IP? See, this is where I get in trouble because writing this interop layer is really intriguing to me, but it's for this stupid fucking little chat app that I want to do. So, you know, but that would give me an opportunity to do some gRPC because, you know, the truth of the matter is you probably want to have multiple daemon processes that are running that are your bots, and then you want those things to communicate, and they don't necessarily have to live in the same executable. So again, people, you know, you might be wondering, why the hell is he talking about, you know, how he's going to, you know, what service he's going to use and everything. And this is why, because this is now pretty much solidified my decision to make bots to cover the chat and RTMP relays to cover the stream. And I don't mind paying a little bit of money to fire it up. Does that mean somebody else is going to be able to do the same thing? Well, hopefully, you know. I don't think it's that much architecture to set up a DigitalOcean server with, you know, a Restream. If you're just dealing with RTMP stuff. And you guys have already, Bear's already shown me a couple of apps that are already doing that. So that's probably covered. And so then the other piece of this is direct chat integration. That includes the ability to integrate with incoming comments so that, you know, in my terminal down here, this is, you know, the stream. So it's the stream of the bots, the stuff coming from Discord, the stuff coming, and it includes notifications for, not to mention the whole bit system, which I wasn't able to draw on here yet, but I figured I'm just going to give everybody one icon and that's it. And you can decide what that icon is. Actually, this is something I didn't get to talk about, but I'm going to go off here pretty soon. One of the things that I have, it's on my little piece of paper here, is I had, so you know what, I'm going to go ahead and put an icon here. I need to go find the emoji for it. Guys, come on. Whoa. Oh my gosh. That was real. Did you hear that? How crazy is that? I'm like listening to rain, fake rain, and there's just a massive thunderclap outside, like in the real world. So yeah, let's see. What environment am I running? Hi, Bill Nash. Let me just go, I can go check my FAQ here. Let me show you. Yeah, I get that question a lot, obviously. So that's got as many, by the way, if there's something there that's not answered, please let me know so I can go at it. Okay. Honestly, like if you want to know how I configured my tmux and stuff like that. At the beginning of the stream, actually, I went through stuff I have never covered, which is how I'm nesting my tmux sessions and all that sort of thing. So yeah, anyway, let's, I need to do something here. What? That's not what I wanted. Okay, here we go. All right, so now I need, well, yeah, this isn't Gnome, this is tmux, but yeah, I don't, this is another thing you need to know about me. And I wrote that I don't give a shit about my distro. I can, yes, I can do Arch if I wanted to. I can do, you know, whatever. I've been doing it since the 90s. I want something that works fast and is reliable. and Pop! OS for me right now is the leader. Another thing I really like about the GNOME desktop is I can see down here. See, like when I turn my screen off, see that? All I have to do to go out of full screen mode is type the command key, and I can go down here and I can see exactly what's going on. I can see if I'm live. I can see the green dot down here and see if I'm live. That's also shown up in the top, but I can see my sound levels. I can see whether they're coming in, and I can see whether I'm actually hidden. Gen 2 is reliable. Haven't seen a Linux desktop in a while. I can't recognize it. Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah. So this is why I have this. So it's like when it does this thing, these are actually composite windows, whatever, and I can even see your chat. I could actually operate the whole thing just from looking at your tiny little words down there. Don't change anything. Gen 2 is reliable, depending on how you compile it, and don't change anything ever. Yeah, until you decide to do something else. So this is really fun. Do. I can freak you out. So yeah, I need to get me. Oh, check this out. I got the new soundboard on today. I know this is like one of the worst things of all. All right, this is pretty damn scary though. I don't know if you're prepared.
For the Mr. Rob from hell.
All right, that was fun. No, my new board has got all these effects on it, and it's crazy. There's like some really fun ones too. I'm gonna have to get good at it. But I just remembering that because I was like doing my sound here. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, we were talking about. This is why I don't talk. Gen 2 in production. Are you kidding me? What kind of dumbass would do that? Yeah, that's what I keep saying about Arch. Nobody likes me to say that. It's like, show me one Arch in production. Never will be. And it turns out hackers, if you're a hacker, you don't need to have Arch in production. You can have it on your laptop and do your job, and as long as your company's okay with it. So Vera would be okay with Gen 2 in production if he made it and built it himself and everything. Actually, it's interesting you say that because there's a good company, Coin, actually is very public about it. Coin Software, it's they're up the street actually. I got a couple of my guys are up there working, went on to work there, and they have made their own Linux distro. Yeah, they have their own company distro. They all have to use it. Yep. They all have to use the company distro. And I don't remember what one it is. I think it's Debian based, but I'm not sure. Yeah. Get your gold images. It's read only. Yeah. To be awful if the right people leave. Yeah, I won't lie. Feelings when they told me about that, I'm like, why would you do that? But they do. They have it. They have their own distro, and you have to use it. I'm not a fan of that, to tell you the truth. I really, in particular line of thinking, I really like what IBM did. IBM is like, you need to have our spyware on your system to ensure that you're in compliance with our security things. That's what you trade for the right to use your own computer. And if you're okay with that, we're okay with you managing your own machine. And then they would have this really awesome audit software that was no worse than Mac by default. And it was annoying, and you could turn it off. They said you could anyway. I don't know. As long as they paid for the hardware, right? And that's what we did. We would buy our own hardware. It was like bring your thing. The other thing about IBM is they would never give you a computer that actually worked. It was always too much money to give you the computer that you really needed. And so everybody learned, at least in my team, they learned really quickly that managers didn't give a shit about getting you a good computer. They would get you the minimum. And so most people's laptops, official laptops, was like a doormat, and they would run their own system and pay their own money. I would run their own software inside of a VM on that hardware. Yeah. And that's what we did too. I would run a Windows VM that was running the standard IBM image, and I would run it from a Linux machine, and nobody knew the wiser. They had no idea. So there's lots of ways around it. Um, yeah. So, but forcing your own OS, it's something Cohen did that I frankly, it made me not want to work there. To be completely honest, I was like, hell no. You're going to tell me what OS to run? We had another guy, the guy who got the 100K job starting, junior job. The company that he's working for sent him a Mac and they said, you have to use this. So it's not unusual. I'll tell you what though, if a company tells me that I have to use their computer, unless I really, really love the company, they can take a hike. And so companies like GitLab and IBM, even really conservative company, don't even require that because they get it. They understand tech people. And if you tell me I have to use your stuff, you better explain why. And if you're the government or something, I guess I could understand that. But even then, I mean, I understand why they do it because people don't. They're stupid. I think you should run spyware. If I was a CTO, I would force our spyware to be on all the computers because that's the only way you can truly ensure that your computers are safe. You can have a lockdown image that you control and everything, but you also need spyware for your enterprise because you've got to make sure they're not downloading shit and stuff like that. If I was in charge of a bunch of people, random people, yeah, GitLab is totally awesome. I would work there in a heartbeat. I'm still thinking about applying there, actually. Yeah. So I can then SSH into WSL2 and get out from there. Yeah. Yep. Forced migration, I don't know if I'm of an opinion yet. That I'm actually glad to hear that. Any connect Elastic Split Horizon. Yeah. I really, really, really love GitLab. And what were you on before? GitHub? You were on GitHub Enterprise before? If you don't mind my asking. Enterprise GitHub. I'm Bill. You got to stick around and tell me you're anonymous here, more or less. So you got to stick around and tell me your experience with both, and without any judgment from us. I'm really curious to see what somebody in the enterprise feels about the migration. But I tell you what, GitLab is really dominating in that space, and they are focused 100% on enterprise. Yeah, you have enterprise GitHub. Yep. Run Slack, Docker, WSL, Chrome, and Vera is still on GitHub. He's kind of behind the times. Yeah. So, anyways, judgment of a Perl coder. Yeah, so are we. So are Vera. You just spoke Perl. You just spoke Vera's love language. He still thinks we should do everything in Perl. I learned Perl in '96. Never looked back. Yeah, Bill's love Perl. Yeah, I am definitely a Perl guy. It's funny because I don't know if you saw. Did you see my little hack I just did? I'm still putting one-liner Perl one-liners in my shit because they're just so powerful. This here. This is my bash script. It's like it's a total hack. Yeah, Python at work. Python is still good. Perl is a great language, but its relevance is still there, but it's still really great at what it was designed to be, of course. Right. It was never an enterprise language. The fact that it became the world's, I have a whole write-up on this. The fact that Perl became the world's go-to back-end language for the entire internet is a huge testament to how awesome Perl is. It was never intended to be that, and yet it did it. And then people give it shit, and they're like, hey, it's stupid Perl, blah, 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 blah. Don't know what you're talking about. Run along. But for what it was made for, to replace set and awk and tr and stuff like that, it's still amazing. It's still hands down the leader. And so for doing this kind of stuff like this, like regular expressions have been codified in Perl. All the other languages, including Python, use the Perl regular expression engine. So that's my little rant about Perl that I normally tell because I usually have people on the stream who don't know. The all 15 of the people on my massive stream, I'm a little worried that the stream's going to grow and get to be too verbose, and I'm not going to be able to have the personal interaction. When I got up to like, you know, when I was having like 100, 200 in a stream at a time, it was getting really hard to connect with the core people that have been in my community for a while, and it was hard. It was really hard to see what people had to say and stuff, because it was just streaming along. What's their terminal? Blah, 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 blah. And it just got annoying. And so we're sort of just wrapping up my conversation about where this stream's going and stuff. POA damn near 20 years ago. Did you really? Oh boy. Can dynamically reload events. Ooh. Real time, if I'm careful, I don't blow it up. That's interesting. Yeah, there's Cyberwar has an episode on hacking POEs. And anyway, what was I focusing on? I was trying to look for HashiCorp modules because you were talking about modularity. So HashiCorp, it's going to be hard for me to find this. HashiCorp Golang module. No, it's not a module. What is it? Plugins. They have their own plugin architecture. Lightning talk on YARP. YAPS. YPC. Congrats, you on a Firesen Pro. Yeah. There it is. The Go plugin. See this? It is RPC. It is RPC. They must have changed. It was standard. It was standard input before. I could have swore. I think this is a different one. Maybe I got it wrong. The thing that's really crazy about this is how old it is. Yeah, but yeah. So I think this is the one. I don't remember. Let me go read it. It's yeah, whatever. Go plugin is a Golang plugin system over RPC. It has to core for over 4 years. This is a new version of an older one that I saw. This is definitely new. I think what they must have, it sounds to me like they upgraded, because it was arguably a long time ago. Maybe I'm just remembering it wrong. But I could have swore it was overstead in and stead out. It wasn't RPC. Unless it uses RPC overstead in. gRPC stead out. Yeah, I think that's the one. But you know, HashiCorp is another company that I would work for tomorrow, but you've got to be good to work for HashiCorp. My impression of working for HashiCorp is it scares me more to go for a HashiCorp interview than a Google interview, because the people in that organization are top notch. I mean, they're amazing. The stuff they're making. You're looking at GitLab's website, Peter. Hi, Peter. I'm surprised that they are the largest all remote company. Yeah. They even have a remote manifesto. Oh God, yeah. This is my assumption with them. In fact, they were the subject. Can't make a damn DSL worth anything though. You don't think? Well, that's a different. Which one are you talking about? Yeah. You know what? Maybe that's why I'll go work for them. You know what? HashiCorp is the kind of company that would value my pagan project. The Terraform DSL sucks. Well, I'll need to make them a new one then. So, yeah, because seriously, that's why I think pagan has legs, because revising DSLs is a big annoyance right now, because it's really hard to rewrite a language, and you didn't have for loops. Oh wow. So I think writing languages is going to become super important. We're going to have to be able to do it really quickly. And right now, all the tools for writing languages suck. Yeah, but I was just going to finish on GitLab. So, yeah, Forbes magazine and Harvard Business Review. Actually, no, I think it's just the Harvard Business Review. did a study, a big old long study of GitLab, because they're basically setting the stage for all remote work, and they were doing it way ahead. I mean, they did that in 2014, 2015, something like that. They were 100% remote from the very beginning, and they always have been. Because Elastic, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So another reason too is that they are the implementations of the languages are not being captured in a meta language of some kind. I don't know, but I'm glad we're talking about this, because if I was going to go apply at HashiCorp, which I might, that's one of the things that I would try to sell them on. I was like, look, your DSL sucks. Everybody complains about it. Go watch the stream. If you want to start writing, flexible DSLs, you need a meta language that's really solid, that generates code, and here's your pagan for you. So I did this thing. Even if you don't like this one, we can do it. You can help me sponsor it. And you know what? I'm kind of thinking out loud here, but that might be something that, because it's hard for me to find a company that would actually value my work efforts on the pagan stuff. Most companies don't give a shit, but most companies aren't writing DSLs every day. Anyway, so this Go plugin thing. This is when I knew HashiCorp was a cool company, and then I found out about some of the other stuff in Terraform. Another company, I would work for New Relic as well, if Portland's not in fire anymore. That's where their headquarters is. Yeah, Nomad, Vault, Packer. So this is what I really love. They you know what? Yeah, while the plugin system is over RPC, it is currently only designed to work over a reliable network. You don't like New Relic if you play with their software? Their sales guys are pushy. My specialization, no. If I had to pick a specialization, I've been writing enterprise interop software, backend stuff for beginning. I started out as a CGI guy in Perl for web stuff, and then from there I was just writing a bunch of like system level backend software forever. I wrote you can read about it on my LinkedIn, but I wrote a protocol based on GPG actually, that was mine based to collect compliance data from like thousands of machines, 52,000 machines or so, and put them in a database that I designed, blah blah blah. And terabytes of data coming in, and that was all Perl, by the way. Those endpoints were in Perl. We used a thing called Indigo Perl.exe. Do you happen to know it? Do you guys remember Indigo Perl.exe? Not Active State. Active State was shit. I hated it. It didn't have enough. It didn't support as many endpoints. Yep, Indigo. That's the main tool we used. We had a license and everything. Yep, Perl CC. The problem with it is it didn't support as many. It didn't support enough endpoints. Active State and Perl CC and all of that stuff, they didn't have enough endpoints. That was the reason I couldn't use them. Yeah. Well, yeah. We had to write endpoint code. You want to know why I love Ghost so much? I can compile Windows endpoint code that's a statically compiled binary that will run on any target system that could ever be in my enterprise environment. And when I was writing that software, I had to ship. Indigo Perl.exe was annoying as hell, because what it was is it was basically a tarball or a zip of the Perl interpreter, all the standard libraries. It basically statically linked Perl like a Python virtual environment. And that's what it did. It bundled everything together, and when you ran it, it would unzip the thing, run the code, and then delete all of it. It was the biggest hack ever. And you compare that to, but it ran everywhere. It ran everywhere. Literally, I mean, every single endpoint that we had, including like SCO machines and stuff like that. And so it was the only way we could write software that would run everywhere. The ironic thing is that Java would never do it, because we'd have to ship the whole Java. We talked a lot about shifting over to a Java interpreter for that kind of thing, because that was on the docket, and there's no way we could do it in C or anything, because we'd have to compile stuff for everything. There was nothing at all like a Python virtual environment as well. Python wasn't really mature even at the time, although Google was all in Python at the time, if I remember right. Anyway, If I had had Go, oh my God. This is why Go is... Actually, there's this new guy who just followed me on Twitter. I love his icon. I'm going to show it to you. Because it basically says everything you need to know. So, this, he just barely followed me. I found him. He's a security guy. Here it is. Zero. Props to Zero. I love his icon. Check it out, man. He's a hacker. I'm telling you, this says everything right here. I've been saying for more than a year now that Go is going to dominate the cybersecurity field. It's going to kick Python on its ass because of what I just talked about. You can write Go code, compile endpoints that are tough to decompile. They're not impossible, but they're tough to decompile because they're not the same sort of thing that you might encounter. That'll eventually go away, but and you can write endpoint code for anything on anything else. I could be on my Mac and write endpoint code for a Raspberry Pi or a Mac or a Windows machine, and I can ship that code right away. And if I had had that ability when I was writing that enterprise software for doing enterprise auditing, instead of having to write those Indigo Pearls, I would have done it. So that's where all of these cross compilation languages are really changing enterprise and cybersecurity, because you can write up to now, if you invade a system, you've got to put you got to hope Python is there. That's another reason to learn Perl, by the way, because good chance Perl is there. There's a good chance Perl is the most powerful language on any computer that you encounter that's in the Unix platform. They're taking it away, though. Did you hear they're starting to remove Perl from the default Debian install? I think it is. I think Ubuntu and Debian have removed Perl by default, so it's not on the system anymore, which I think is travesty. Because it was getting to the point where it was as ubiquitous as awk or sed or something, and that's one of the reasons you should learn it. It's literally the most powerful language installed on the computer by default that you can use without having to install Python. Get ready for whatever Perl's Y2K event will be. Yeah, who knows? I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. It's probably time for me to go. If it's 6 o'clock, that's usually when I chill out and go sleep until 2 o'clock or so. I have a weird schedule. I own it. I'm kind of on a 2 days in one sort of schedule, but it's been working for me so far. I am getting fatter though. so that's a problem. It's mostly just because I gotta kind of get back out, go running and do my yoga. So just recently I was watching a video with David Patterson and John Hennessy, Turing Award 2017, talking about the resurgence of RISC and the upcoming trend towards domain-specific hardware. Maybe I'm not understanding the whole concept correctly. Wouldn't it be great to have DSL running on this hardware to get the most out of it? I think yes. I do think domain-specific hardware is also a thing, particularly in the ARM edgy. I don't know though. I mean, I'm not in it enough to know. I'm not following that closely, but that you should ask Peters, ask Mac about that. He's kind of plugged into the embedded world pretty well. I personally think that being able to turn around a DSL really quickly is more valuable than turning around DSH or domain specific hardware. So I agree with you, and that's why I made Pagan. So it's not finished, but I gotta finish it. Because being able to tweak your language and write, code that works with it, I think that's where the future is. And this is why I love live streaming, because a couple of people have already told me, like, I was talking about this earlier. Who was telling me about the gRPC compilation stuff? Once upon a time, somebody was talking to me about gRPC code generation. Anyway, I do think it's silly and a little bit ironic that RPC has come back in such a major way when it got dismissed so heavily in the 90s. Every time I see the letters RPC, I get a little bit crazy. But it is back. It is definitely back. I wonder if this is the reason I'm starting to see a bunch of IDL code. Have you guys noticed that too? Did you see, can I show you something? So, of course I can. I'm running the show here. But, so if you go to the Restream API, that's probably something good to close on. If you go to the Restream API, you can get, oh, that's not it. I'm going to drop Periscope. You're going to go away soon. And I think it's developers. Yeah, there we go. So, I think RPC's shame is due to bad implementation. Savix drove me mad. Yeah. Well, okay. So, yeah. Yep. Yes. In short, yes. When they said it was just gRPC, it was some new version of RPC. I was like, really? Have they figured out the problem of not being able to manage resources properly? Blah blah blah. But the last time that I ever saw IDL, which is what this is, was when I was in a Corba class in Milpitas, and learning. And now that's going to date me. It's like Corba. It's like back in the SOAP Corba, and then RPC was the new boy on the block. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. If you know Perl, you know what I'm talking about. You've been around long enough. Yeah. Why do I do this? Yes, I know. And all that tech has died since then. XML still lives on for SVG pictures and Word docs and stuff, but it got replaced by JSON, and so all that tech has lived and died. And by the way, to the young people who are watching, when you hear me rant about something that I see that's going to die, that's why. Because I have seen stuff die over and over and over again. And the amount of surety, this was the new best way to do everything, Java comes to mind, ended up to be a complete lie. And shall we tried to use it exactly? It's exactly. So this is why I am so terrified of bad, technical debt at the worldwide architecture level, because it can literally destroy the world if you do it wrong. And so when I see the letters RPC, it's really triggered. And so I need to get into it again to make sure that I'm going to be okay with it, because there was some really bad RPC implementations out there. It's never to get excited from the presentation. You know what? I read a stat recently, not recently, probably a couple months ago at this point, that the number is $500,000. The Java language is the only language to have a marketing budget of $500,000. And you can probably remember the day when you encountered the marketing behind Java. It was literally, it was a language, most languages came out of academia or people screwing around, like Node and Rust, or, fulfilling a need like Go. And yeah, Java actually had an entire $500,000 marketing campaign to get people to use it. Because any rational technologist wouldn't have used the thing at all. If they had spent half a day with it, they were like, oh my God. But I did. I bought it. I was all into it. I had my coffee mug with my little, whatever the fuck his name is, the little logo dude. And I mean, this is why I am just so jaded, because, you get really excited about a thing like that. It turns out to be, it's like joining a cult. You break out of the cult and you're like, no, just no. Anyway, but we're starting to see some of those things pop up again now that we're doing this distributed thing. And, I got paid handsomely to code in Java and to give conferences on it and stuff. And so I can't really, some microsystem, the spy Java commercial. Oh, please no. Do I really want to do this? You guys can go watch it on your own. I don't want to do that, please. No. I'm going to bed. I'll have nightmares. I was doing trade show networks back in the comics days, and the Kool-Aid was everywhere. Oh my God, was it not? It's like, and the Gang of Three, I had all their books. I had all those hardbound UML consortium books. You know what I'm talking about? I'm just, they're all in those fun colors, like, and everything was in pastels, and we were all drawing pretty pictures of UML activity diagrams and class diagrams. We still do that to some degree now, and we were doing single inheritance and loving it, and we hadn't hit any of the problems, and then the whole fucking world came crashing down. And if you really want to see the dark times that Brian Cantrell talks about it, he talks about it in his "Should We Redo the Operating System in Rust?" And he concludes no, by the way, but there's a segment in there, and I refer to it all the time. And I think I might even have it on my fact somewhere. Anyway, so the last time that I heard about RPC and IDL, and this is what IDL looks like. So IDL stands for Interface Definition Language, and it is a meta language. So, we're starting to see meta languages pop up again. And Peg, which itself is a sort of meta language, and Guido van Rossum famously has been talking about redoing the parser as a Peg grammar. So we're starting to see the grammar, the meta languages, like surface back into popular conversation in the industry right now. And the more things get distributed in the edge network and that kind of thing, the more we did. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Well, I'm a Perl guy. You too. So yeah, we'll never forgive him for that. Bill, if you really want to have fun, I've talked to people about this before. If you want to have a blast, take the time to go research on the Python UUCP news groups, and search for the thread where they tried to add anonymous functions. It's hilarious. It's hilarious because they realize it's a very long thread, and it might be worth your time. And run YAML to JSON on IoT. Yeah, well, and I like YAML. I'm not gonna lie. I like it. But I like it for different reasons than you guys like it. So first of all, I think YAML should only be written. I don't think it should be read. If your application is gonna write. But anyway, let me just finish the other thing. So, yeah, what was I even talking about? Probably doesn't matter. We were talking about, okay, so yeah, the thread. If you go read about the thread, when they tried to add anonymous functions that were more than one line with a lambda keyword, which is what Python uses right now. I love it when Python people say, I say Python doesn't have anonymous functions. They're like, yes, it does have lambdas. They're like, lambda doesn't count. It has to be on one line. It's not the same. An anonymous function has to be able to be on more than one line. And it's really hard to teach first-class functions without anonymous functions, because what are you passing around? You're defining a full function with a name and everything, and now you're just passing the name around. Well, why not just use that? It's easier to teach it because if you got the equal sign involved, which you do with JavaScript and stuff, and Go, right? So then you can really clearly demonstrate in the syntax that a first-class function is just another data type. So anyway, so yeah, but there's a big thread, and they just fall on their face, and nobody really admits it openly, but they realize that the white space shit has stopped them from expanding the language. So they can't, because first-class functions just totally fuck up the syntax, and they didn't even think about that. And that's what happens when you make dumb shit ideas about a language, and make syntax significant, make white space significant. It's just a total dumbass idea. And YAML uses white space too, and that's one of its complaints that I'll agree with. But it makes sense for, I use it as a database replacement. So for that kind of thing, I think it does make sense. When my coworkers get on my nerves, I edit their memoirs and change their tab stops. Do you know how to do that trick, huh? Do you know what else you can do? Did you know you can change, what is it? There is a semicolon. This is another one you can do. You can change their semicolons to the Unicode character that is a semicolon. That's not a Unicode character. And it'll say they have an error on this line. You'll be like, no, I don't. That's like a really good one. Like now that you have like modern Unicode, there are Unicode equivalents of the common ASCII characters that are not that character. So you can go in and screw around, and they'll open it up to look at it, and they won't see the difference. It'll be exactly the same character. How can I put anonymous functions in a case switch? Yeah. How to start a fight. Oh, that's like 2 things you can't do in Python. You should never be using switch in case in Python. It's an anti-pattern in Python. It's like, go fuck yourself. It's one of the greatest things ever. I love how Go does switch. Go just double down on switch. You don't even have to have an argument to switch. That's great. And they made select the same syntax as well. So I really love that. Let's see. I like YAML for human readable configuration before you. Yes, absolutely. That's my take on it too. Anything that has to be written by a computer is JSON. If it just has to be read by a computer, then, anything that has to be maintained. JSON is absolutely atrocious for maintaining anything if you're a human, because you can't do line returns. So, yeah. Editor configured every Git repo. Oh god. Change the line endings from Unix to Win. Yeah, well, I'm coding Go all day, every day. We did context today. You can go back and watch me struggle through context. Quint's probably laughing his ass off at me, but I don't care. I've been coding Go for a long time, but I haven't been coding enterprise level Go, so I haven't been doing a lot of concurrency and shit. And I certainly haven't been playing with context. I did that today, this morning. So that's a good one. I'd go back and watch that one. You have to go to the all the way to the end though, because I don't know what I'm doing at the beginning. And I'm kind of courageously putting that out there so that people can see how dumb I am and then learn with me. You'd laugh. You're probably laughing at me going through this context, weren't you? Like, dude, you have a print statement. It's cooling off. I'm sure you're like watching it. If you watch the video this morning, there's going to be people who actually know Go are going to be like, oh my God. The name of the title of the video, by the way, is Exploring Context, which means I have no shit what I'm doing, no idea what I'm doing. And I am exploring context, and I'm getting mad and I'm getting happy, and it's like a whole saga. And by the end, I love them. And I'm like, hey, I got this. I understand it. Now it's okay. But at the beginning, if you watch it, you're like, if you know them, I'm sure it probably drove people like Quint crazy. Because it's like, what is you doing? Why are you like struggling here? The new TUI. Yes, I do. We've been talking about that, Clementino, for most of the morning. And the bottom line is I'm going to change the terminal UI to be organized like this. It's going to have, this is like the pane where the chat and stuff's going to come in, and then they'll have this focus come up when I'm going to type right here. And it's got the running number of viewers here and a little kind of notification dialog. But we kind of went down another path because I got talking about the internals of the TV thing, and so my selling point is that I don't want to use it all the time. It's definitely chat oriented, yeah, but it's going to have other things in the stream. So it'll have, like comments that come in on YouTube. It'll have tweets that are related to it. All of that stuff will be pulled in together at some point, and hopefully it'll be modular. So we spent a lot of time today talking about ways to make the modularity and how much of this stuff has to be divided in what particular main services, and how do we deal with the video stream versus the chat stream? How do we deal with the lag that's associated with the Restream right now? Whether or not we're going to stick with Restream. And so far the conclusion, and it's probably time for me to leave, but the conclusion is, yes, we're going to have an app. Yes, I'm going to use CView for the whole thing. But the underlying infrastructure is going to be modular. And if I have my way, I'm going to make it use HashiCorp's RPC interoperability layer that they use for Terraform and a bunch of other things, so that 2 independent processes can talk to each other. So you can have 2 Go programs run on the same computer. And the way I envision it is that you would have a plugins directory, and you would drop your Golang executable that you checksummed and made sure it doesn't have shit in it. And then you put it in there, and then you could say, okay, here's the Discord bot. Okay, here's the Twitter bot. Here is every bot. So this is how WeChat works. WeChat has this plugin sort of idea, but all the plugins are in Python. And I'm not so, it's probably going to be more a matter of plugging in an executable that can run on the system. instead of something like Redis. Because I don't feel like I need a full. Redis might be good for something else. I just don't. I don't know. You know what I mean? I kind of want to keep this all on one server instead of getting crazy. You know what I mean? I could go all the way to a full blown Docker app, right? I've thought about doing that too, but there's a lot of dependency. I'm fully not into dependencies, and so that's kind of why not. I've written my own IT systems for my little private community here, and I use YML for everything. I use YAML because I've had Postgres twice and I've gotten rid of it. I was like, I hate maintaining data model. In addition to just a plain model, and it's only a 20, 25, 26 records here. So I like to keep things simple if I can. You have to easily side tap a topic so I can observe for debugging. Yeah, interesting. The binary to the scratch image. Yeah, the way this is going though, there'll be a core UI application that you run, and then it will have the daemons and stuff in it, but it will fire up a separate process, which will be a separate program. And the cool thing about that is that then I can write the Discord plugin separate from, and then I can just create a really simple RPC API to communicate between the UI and the daemons that are running, that are talking, that are logged in, and then we make all the bots logged in independently. I could do the same thing as separate Go routines within a single file, and I could have all of those other things be YML files. And then I could, if I was really doing this right, I could make a domain specific language for those kind of things, and I could have it all just be, there wouldn't be separate executables. But in the past, when I've done this kind of thing, it's almost always best to make the seam between your two pieces like an actual process, like a separate process, a little bit heavier handed. But when you do that, then it could be Python, it could be Go, it could be whatever. As long as it talks to the gRPC API, it doesn't matter. It doesn't even have to be on the computer. And so that kind of level of interop, if somebody has a really high volume, incoming chat server, maybe they would want to run that even on a separate instance someplace. And so people could gRPC themselves together, and the UI would be just for the front end. So I know this is taking on a new life of its own, but why not? I need to be able to write gRPC apps anyway. And a large reason that I'm doing all of this is for education, and a reminder about how RPC works and stuff. So that's the plan. I'm going to go ahead and stick with the UI, but the UI will be connected in some way. And so I'm going to be doing some architecture here. And in the meantime, I'm just going to be keeping using my IRC with my little Restream bot that I get for free from Restream while I use it. And there we go. We're getting Mr. Pew Critic still here. And that's it. So we don't have anything else on the YouTube. But I made a lot of progress tonight. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. And doing all this stuff. So yeah, I think I know what the visual interface will look like. And that's something that I do want to allow people to theme and shit. But I don't want to get crazy. I don't want you to be able to write a QML file to define what your UI interface is. You know what I mean? I would rather have an interface and say, okay, here's the engine, and then you can decide how you want to display the stuff. Do you know what I mean? But I also don't want to get too crazy with all the different moving parts in the thing. So yeah. But ultimately, if you're using this thing, I want you to be able to just download the executable and run it, and maybe have a few theme colors and stuff that you can change in a config file. And then you have a plugins directory, or you have a plugin address, you might have to say, and then and then say, okay, here's my plugins, and then it would automatically go get those plugins and bridge them for you. And it's the difference between this and other apps is this is going to be largely a read-only thing. It's going to be mostly reading from these things, but it's also going to be talking. It's actually an extension of another thing I wanted to do a long time ago called Kava, Conversational Assistant Virtual Agent, and this is related to that actually. So it's kind of fun to get into it. All right, it's been a lot of fun as usual, and so hopefully you guys have a great day, whatever it is that you end up doing, and yeah, make a difference. Go out there, fight the good fight, and all of that. And yeah, I'll be back sometime around 2 today. Whatever you call today, in some like 7, 8, 9 hours. So yeah.